Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we have an unboxing video. You can probably tell who this is from. AirTac. Now, if you haven't heard of AirTac before, they are a company based in the UK, I think in Northern Ireland actually, and they make pretty awesome HPA conversion parts for gas blowback airsoft replicas. So I've bought quite a few of their products in the past. Really great quality. A lot of the time you'll use a donor mag, so like a magazine for the replica. You'll take certain parts out of it, put it into an HPA adapter, and you'll use that. You'll use that to HPA, keep the recoil in your gas blowback, but also have performance and the use of AEG magazines, so increased magazine capacity in your gas blowback. So I reached out to them and said, hey, I love what you do. I've bought a load of your products before. Would you like to send me anything just to check out? So what they've actually done today is sent me a couple of things just to open up to show you guys what they are. I think it's just some little bits and pieces which they make. So big shout out to them. We'll see what they sent me. And the other thing is, just before they were going to send it out, I saw that they released a new product. Now, this product I think is quite exciting, and I'm actually going to be doing a review on it in another video. So if you're new here, stay tuned, go and subscribe and you'll see this video. But it's called their Dead Drop HPA grip, and it's basically a grip which you can put onto one of your replicas, which is going to have a line or a space for a line to run through the grip. So it kind of works or seems like a regular HPA line. Like it's going to be something where when you run an HPA adapter, a lot of the time, the line actually comes out the side and it can get in the way. They found a way of allowing you to thread that line through and down into the grip. So I haven't seen it. I saw they released it. I ordered it at the same time that they were actually sending me packages. So I have paid for that myself. So one of these packages is that, and the other package is the little bits and pieces that they've sent me. So let's open it up and find out what we have from AirTac. I'll put a link below to their website, so if you guys want to go there, I'll try and put a link also to all of these products. But if you have questions about these products specifically, let me know and I will, let's open both of these, and I will answer them for you in the comments. And also, if there's specific stuff that you want to see, you want me to do a review on one of these things they've sent me in some way, then let me know that as well, and I will get onto that ASAP. So let's start with this one. And it's been very well packaged. Packaging is excellent. And we're going to see what is in here. So already I'm quite excited because you can see right there we've got some quite cool stuff. This looks like it's going to be an adapter. And this is going to be an adapter for... I should look at the packing list on this. But this looks like it's an adapter for a VFC... maybe a VFC M4 like AR style magazine right there. So maybe it's going to go in a VFC. They actually now do their own feed lips and gas router on here, it looks like, because they used to have like a donor mag that it would do that from. But this looks to me like it could be potentially an AR or an MWS magazine, and it is going to be, or an adapter, and it is going to be one that takes MP5 mags. Looks like that from the small little zone. I'm going to check on the packing list they sent me, but as you can see, it's kind of like a 3D printed polymer, super lightweight. It's got its own like magazine feed lips here. It's got a gas router already that's in there. I quite like these. It's kind of got little tabs on the side which are going to guide that magazine in and kind of give it a little bit of a squeeze on there, which is quite cool. It's got the release here. As you can see, that spring moving. That's going to be the release for the mag. I quite want to see, actually, I'm just going to check and see what this fits in. This probably isn't a great idea to be sticking it into stuff. This is an APFG, so it basically is a VFC. So it's going to run off that same system. I don't think that is for that. So I think it could be for an MWS. And I have right here, it's probably not ideal that I can't open this cupboard with my MWS in it. This is a Guns Modify MWS. So we'll see. Okay, and that fits in there. So this is going to be your MWS. You can see here how cool that is. That line, they've really like tucked it right the way in. So that line is running there. I'll hook this into an HPA tank and then I can put magazines in here. I presume, and I don't think I have any here. Oh, I do. So I've got an MP5 mag here. That's very, very lucky. But is this going to be for that? Yeah, it is. So this is going to allow me to take, oh, that is clever. So that's going to allow me to make this horrible looking thing, which a lot of you milsimmers out there are like, what are you doing? But it's actually something I didn't have. So I think when they emailed me, they were like, hey, what would you like to test out? That was something I was like, oh, I don't have one of those. So you can basically take an MWS platform and add MP5 mags into it. I don't know, it almost looks a bit like an MPX that now, doesn't it? I don't think I would necessarily run these full-sized MP5 mags in, but I might run the little short, stubby ones. And I don't know if I'd run that over just running a regular, like a regular M4 mag, because they do an adapter actually that will just take the like M4 AR mags. But to be honest, I mean, it doesn't look as bad as I thought it would. And what is quite interesting is those little tabs there, which I just showed you, like the little tabs right there. If I can stop this camera from moving. What's funny is I like put my hand up to show you guys what's going on, and then let's move it over. Come over here. Yeah. Okay. So what I showed you here is those little tabs that are just inside that magwell. In fact, I don't know why I don't just take it out. The tabs right here. These, when you actually have the MP5 mag, they go down these grooves. So I've never seen that before, where the actual MP5 mag is secured in place with those grooves. So you can see there, it's just gonna do the feeding. And that is really clever because that just keeps it solid in the actual magwell. So there is literally like hardly any wobble on that, and there's just no movement. And so that's a really quick release, and it's just sitting it in the right space. So sometimes you can put these in at the wrong angle as well. So that's really cool. I'll probably do a full review on this. So let me know if you guys have any questions on this. This is just an unboxing and first opinions kind of thing. But that is a MWS to MP5 AirTac adapter that they've sent me. And that actually I'm really impressed with. So I'm quite excited. I think these are normally about 150. Let me see if I can find that for you quickly. HPA adapter, TMMWS. Where are we going here? And if we're looking for one that adapts to an MP5, they do a shot shell. They do a, hold on. Yeah, MP5. So this is actually £90. So it's £90 to get it, which actually I think is pretty great considering. So it's probably about $110 is kind of what you're looking at there. So I don't know why, but I've now got all of my replicas out, which was not the intended thing to do in this video. Okay, so that's the first thing they've sent me. Next, what they've sent me are these, which I think are really cool. So, well, there's a few things here. So we'll have a look at what there is. This is, they've obviously got very good 3D printers because obviously this is 3D printed, as you can see with kind of the lines there. But what's cool is these are actually made for your HPA tanks. So it's like a thread protector. So I've actually got these, which are like HK Army ones on here. This is one of my HPA tanks. I knew these were going to be in here, so I actually just decided to go out and grab one. Okay, there we go. Just so I could show you guys what it looks like. But that basically is now going to mean that that thread and the top of that is protected. I do think that's pretty cool. I mean, it's obviously kind of like a bit of a novelty, but you probably know exactly which tank's which when you're putting this on. So they sent me a few of those. They've got this one, which is, oh, a bit squeaky. And because they're 3D printed, I expect that those threads will take a little bit to getting into. So I've got a cowboy hat. I've got this little ghost here, which I would definitely probably use out of all of them. That's pretty cool. I have got a pumpkin just there. And then I think that is it. There is also, what is this? This is a tournament lock. So I think I'll need to check what this is, but I think that could be a regulator lock for a tournament piece. I'll check on that as well. This is a GHK SIG 553 thread, like fast speed loader adapter. So I need to get a GHK SIG 553 because I don't have one of those, which is another thing that they've just done to make me spend more on airsoft to buy something. But basically that's going to go on the top of a magazine, similar to like how that is, and then that allows me to speed load just in there. Again, I'll put a list of these parts down below, guys, so you can see what they are. I also have a thumb protector for an MP, I think this is for an MP5. So what that's going to allow me to do is grab the spring. In fact, let's see if it will work on something like this. So this is a Glock 19 mag, and yeah, it will work like that. So it will show you here, I can use this to pull down that spring, which means I can then just start to like actually load that straight in. So that's kind of great. I think I could use that on pretty much anything, because what can get really annoying is just grabbing this and then pulling it down and then trying to hold that with your nail. If you don't have a nail, it gets very difficult. So just having that, I can just literally grab that one hand and then I can just speed load what I need in there. So that's very cool. And I think that should work with pretty much anything which has just that spring front loader. And then what else do we have here? We have, okay, so this is really cool. So this is, I think, one of the primer holders. So I have one of the Quake 8 little blank firing grenades, and basically these 209 primers are like the little like explosive kind of things that go into a shotgun shell. So they're tiny, they don't really make any, they're not dangerous by themselves, but what you can do is load a load of them in here. And this is like a speed loader where I can just push down and put these in. So when I saw that they made this and they said, hey, is there anything we make which you want to check out? This was definitely one of those things where I was like, hey, I really, really want to try this out. So I'll do another video actually on this where I'll just show you me loading my Quake 8. I probably won't throw the Quake 8 in my house and have it explode because they are quite loud, but I will show you how this thing works. And I think this is one of those products which I just haven't seen anyone else do, so that's kind of cool. What else do we have? This is, you know what I should do is I'll pull up the email that they sent me, because then I can actually see what was in the package. That probably helps a lot. Where are we? Okay, so this one is, so that was an MP7 thumb saver, but actually that works on everything, this guy here. We also have the, okay, so that is a AT2000 key reg and lid. So that is this guy and this thing. So that's going to be for the regulator. So that's like a tournament lock kind of like regulator there, which is kind of cool. core-tac GHK 553 speed loader, this guy. So you can see here, like the quality on these are all really good. Like they're obviously 3D printed, and I've actually just ordered a 3D printer, so I'm quite excited to see what I can do with it. Stay tuned for more videos on the channel. But this is definitely very, very good quality 3D printing. Like it's super light, super like solid feeling, and it's kind of got that smoothed out finish. It's not like you're kind of seeing a load of rough edges on this. So that's cool. What else did they send me? So they've sent me, what is that? This guy is a mid-cap unloader. Oh, so that's really cool. So with my mid-cap magazines, sometimes trying to get actually the BBs out of there can be quite tough. So what I can do is just put this straight into the top of it, and that will push down that spring and basically unload all of the BBs. So if I need to unload this, I can just take this on any of my mid-cap AEG mags, stick it in the top and just unload it. Which I think is really cool. And it's almost that shape where it can go into the top of a speed loader. So I could just drop that in, put that in the top of a speed loader and unload. So again, it's like these little things which like you don't think about until you're like, oh wait, that would be really, really useful. Someone makes it and you're like, okay, how do I play now without doing this? It's sped up my actual like gameplay so much. And then don't forget it, otherwise you have to buy a new one. We also have the Odin speed loader. Okay, so this one is meant for the Odin. So this is the speed loader mid-cap unloader lid. So this is going to go into, the Odin speed loader, I'll do another video on this as well, but the Odin speed loader, I'll basically stick that into the top of where that gap is, the winding speed loader, if you're not aware. And then I will literally just take that, put that on the top, and that will just unload all of the BBs in there. If you're finishing a day and you have not emptied all your magazines, you should not leave them full. Like, you need to empty them, because otherwise the actual spring is going to get damaged over time of just being compressed that long. So instead of having to like throw all those BBs away or shoot them somewhere, like where are they going to go? This is going to allow you basically to take those magazines and dump all of the BBs, unused new BBs, not old ones, straight back into your speed loader, which again, it's just like, it's a time saver. It's just pretty interesting to do. Okay, what else do we have in this one? Sorry, this is going to get pretty messy. You can see all the stuff here, which is probably kind of cool. Oh, so this is another thing which I'm very excited about, because again, it was something I don't necessarily think I thought about this until I saw it on their website. But this is like an HPA tank holder. So with my HPA tanks, a lot of the time they're just knocking around in my bag. But this means I can actually put this on the side with my HPA gear, and then I've actually just got a holder. And it will take, I think, pretty much any HPA tank that's this dimensions, which is most of them. You know, some of them are like taller, smaller, but this is called their 0.8 litre carbon tank holder by core-tac. So I think that's pretty cool. Again, 3D printed, really good quality 3D print. I think the color's pretty cool. So that is basically the little things, the bits and pieces. Obviously, I think the most expensive thing there is going to be the adapter. But the rest of this stuff is just really cool stuff to have. And I will be making videos on this one specifically. I'll try different magazines with this. We'll try this on one of my regulators. And we'll kind of, we'll go from there. But as I said, if there's anything here that you like the look of and you want to see more of, let me know. Oh, hold on. What is this? So this one is, oh, so that's a universal thumb safer for M4 and pistol speed loaders. So this guy, pistol speed loader. Okay. Oh, I see. So does this go... I'm really confused by this one. Okay, so this is going to be a separate video working out how I use this, because this is supposedly called the core-tac universal thumb saver for M4 and pistol speed loaders. So I'm thinking that this maybe goes onto the speed loader, but it's got like a hook right there, this little black piece, which is adjustable. Like I can move that up and down. And then it's got like an inlet there where I think this is going to be maybe something that just goes straight on the top here. Anyway, I'm going to work this out, guys. This is going to be one of those ones where we'll do a specific video to figure this out, because it's got different adapters, like clips on the end here, which I can change out for that black piece. But stay tuned. That's going to be another video. So that's another piece they sent me. Right, so I'll put these bits in here so we don't lose them. But there's a lot of cool stuff. Boom, 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 boom. Which means in this other package, we are going to have, put this in here too. In this other package, we're going to have their latest product, which is the one that I'm very, very excited to see. Which is going to be the, what is it technically called? This one is called the T1P Dead Drop HPA Grip. So again, very good packaging. Everything is very looked after. Obviously, it's been sent internationally. I'm in the west coast of LA. Well, west coast of the US, California. So it does take a while for stuff to get sent here. But I actually ordered 2 of these. And what I realized is they're very similar in like design to a very popular pistol at the moment, which is this guy. Let me just kind of like boxing myself in here, which isn't great. This guy right here, which is the Die-Free Co. grip. So incredibly vertical. And as you can see here, it's a very similar design in terms of the, I need to open that up, but it's very similar design in terms of the shape, like very vertical, similar sized back strap here. It's got that finger groove as well, which is going to go in there. And this is pretty much dimensionally exactly the same. Like very similar in terms of like the stippling on the sides, on the rear, little stipple pad on the front. And a lot of people absolutely love this. Like I have to say, depending on the replica I have, like it's a very, very comfortable little grip that's going to go in. And I really like it. The replicas that I've put it on, I think I'm a big fan. But the big thing that they've done with this is, and I'll see if I can do this here. I don't know how I get the bottom out here. Oh, okay, there's a pin here that I'm gonna have to knock out. So I'm gonna have to get my pins out and knock this out, but you can see here, there's an air line that comes through. So what they've basically done is allowed us to take an airline, and instead of it coming out the side like you saw on my MWS there, I can run it straight through here. And then there is a gap right there. So what it's going to mean is when this line goes, it's going to, instead of like sticking out the side, it's going to go through that gap in there. And then it's going to go straight down. And obviously I don't have it open right now. I might, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause this quickly. I'm going to go and grab my pin punch and then I'm going to show you. Okay, so I've got my pin punch, my pins. So what I can do quickly now is there's two small pins, it looks like, in the bottom here of this. I'm just going to knock these out quickly. Again, I'm going to do a full video on this, so I don't really know why I'm going into such detail, but I'm just quite excited about what this does. So I can just kind of give you guys a little preview of what it's going to be. So that is going to be your screw right there. So that's going to screw straight into the bottom. Going to basically come through here and screw it into the bottom of where the pistol joins the lower. Then what I'm going to be able to do is take this line, thread it through here, and then have, if I don't drop it, then have this right here. So this is going to go straight into my regulator and my tank. That's going to go into my regulator and my tank. So you can imagine when I'm holding this and I'm using it, instead of having this line, you know, which is coming out of the magazine flopping around, it's basically now tucked in and underneath right exactly where that is. Now, the other thing that I ordered is one of these. So this actually is a pistol, what do you call it? A trigger guard. And so that trigger guard, again, is going to allow me to thread this through and keep this into this position here. So now, instead of having, and it's going to be the wrong way around, I think. So that's going to pop in. So I need to, again, I'll do a full video and like show you guys exactly how to set this up. But basically that is going to mean that that line coming out of my magazine at this end is just going to come straight the way through. It's going to now, instead of getting sideways and on the side of the replica, it's just going to tuck straight under, and I can put that into the tank on my back or wherever I'm putting it, and we're good to go. But anyway, guys, that is kind of what AirTac have sent me. I've got, again, the same. So I've got two of these. What I'll do is I'll do a full video and I'll build this out. So I'll show you guys exactly what this is like on one of my replicas. Potentially, actually, what I could do is do it on that MWS, and then I'll do that build out, and I'll also use that adapter. So I'll do like an AirTac adapter plus these T1P dead drop HPA grips. But from the feel of it, like, it's really good quality. Again, I think it's 3D printed. Oh, but the other thing that's actually quite interesting is you can take this rear strap off. So I was like, oh, okay, well, I can't really use that because it's got that rear like back strap, and actually I could just take that off. So what I might do actually is run this on one of my AKMs, because then I could do that with that as well. Because I was worried, I was like, oh wait, that means that it's limited to that. Or I could even just switch that out on here. This one has a built-in trigger guard, so I can't like replace that trigger guard, but I could just run the line straight the way along here and into the magazine instead of having to go through that way. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a great day wherever you are. This has been my AirTac unboxing. Stay tuned for more videos of me going through all of this stuff. And as I said, if you have any questions or there's specific stuff that you want to see, please put it down in the comments and I will get on that ASAP. Thanks, guys. Speak soon. Goodbye.